Well, hello there, good sirs, and welcome to the stream.
Hey guys, Luke and Todd from the Scoundrels Cantina here, and welcome to our Bad Batch Season 2 review discussion on our live stream. And we are joined with our good friend Jedi Knight, who's been a follower of this channel for a long time, so it's yours.
Yes, thank you for making my introduction. It's good to see you all again.
Yep. Anyway, how are we going to start this off? What did you guys think about the live stream?
You mean the Bad Batch?
Yeah, the Bad Batch, sorry.
Yeah.
Episode 2 specifically, but if you want to tie into episode 1, it's yours. Just go on. Go ahead.
To be perfectly honest, I thought this one was like really meh. I had a hard time paying attention because I'm like, is this all they're gonna do? I just had a hard time paying attention to it because I didn't feel like anything was happening. It was just talk and talk and talk, and then it just got to the action later on, but that's it. Although I do think it was good seeing Cut LaQuaine again. Sorry for spoilers, I should have said something, but oh well.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's completely fine. What about you, Todd? What did you think?
I love the episode, and I think it ties in perfectly with episode 1, and it just kind of continues the story, which is definitely what I like. You know, it's definitely different than the Clone Wars, how they did it mixed into Clone Wars, and now it's, it's going like Rebels, and they're tying stuff in, like with every episode, it's going like a mini movie, if you know what I mean. So I kind of like that, and yeah, it was pretty good. It was enjoyable, that's for sure, and I really like the style of it that they're using, and yeah, I think it's perfect for now, but we'll see where the story goes. So let's go ahead and pop the big screen on, and let's start with the actual episode itself, and let's see what's going on in there.
Righto.
All right, here we go.
Well, anyway, we always have the introduction, and the first thing I've noticed is this episode didn't have the intro that the Clone Wars episodes used to have, and it didn't have the same introduction with Tom Kane's voice, aka the voice of Yularen and Yoda.
I think I'm wondering if that was.
Yeah.
I think I'm wondering if that one was like just a one-off, maybe just for the Clone Wars.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was to just tie the audience in, and they're gonna do their own thing right now.
It kind of just acted as like a little gateway, and then it just melted away.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. True.
They were just waiting for it to progress from Republic to Empire,
Well, technically, when you look at it, the first episode starts during the Clone Wars.
Exactly.
I mean, at the very end, but it's still the Clone Wars. But at the same time, what came to mind to me was, that Tom Kane had the accident or something happened to him. And they said that he couldn't voice act. Maybe they did it, they already had this recorded, and then they knew that they couldn't use his voice because the guy is still recuperating from his, what I'm not sure what happened to him, but I think he lost his voice in some way. So maybe they just decided to use it for the first one because it's still the Clone Wars, and or maybe simply they're not using it because they want a new style for the show to make it its own thing. I don't know.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Actually, I heard a theory going around saying that Quinlan Vos may have a chance of showing up in the show, but that's either just a theory or a rumor. I don't know if it's actually going to happen.
That I would actually love that. That sounds awesome.
I mean, he's one of my favorite Jedi. Cool. He's one of my favorite Jedi, and I think it would be good to see him again.
Definitely.
They do have a lot of potential to bring back old characters from the Clone Wars.
And even from the Clone Wars Star Wars Republic comics, for example, if I'm not mistaken, Quinlan Vos is last seen in the Star Wars Republic comics, like after Order 66, which he survives. And I don't think his story goes further than that. And technically, since we like to mesh both of them, EU and canon or whatever, it would be really good to see him again.
Actually, I think if I remember correctly, he did have a wife and a son, but I don't know. It didn't go further out after them. It's pretty much unknown what happened, but I think he just settled down and raised a family pretty much. And that's probably the end of him.
And honestly, that's not a bad end when you look at it. And what's ironic is we have Cut LaQuaine in this episode, who also does the same thing in a way.
Yep.
So it's funny how that ties into that topic. Anyway, I'm going to skip this episode a bit, so we can go through a few scenes when this starts. Also, before we go into it further, I just wanted to... Do you guys know about this intro for this here, as you can see it?
We've seen
are your
it
thoughts on
several
that?
times.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that intro or whatever? Like the
I think
music or...
I think they're just trying too hard to be like Marvel.
That's what I was about to say.
Yep, completely agree. That's the exact thing that came to
Because
mind.
that's a problem I've had with Disney canon for a while. They're trying to make Star Wars into something it isn't. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but essentially they're just trying to copy what the MCU is doing and just trying to make this everything connects type of story, which seems a little bit of a stupid thing to say. But if you step back and see what I mean, it's like the EU didn't just make every single thing interconnect in order. They kind of just had that mystery feel to it. Like they introduced one thing and then elaborated on it in the next thing.
Yeah, I agree, and that's what it does feel like, because when you look at it, they announced about 10 shows, if I'm not mistaken, and a few movies or something like that, and it feels like too much Star Wars. I feel like it's being watered down, especially since most of those topics, well, to me at least, don't sound exciting at all, and it does feel like the MCU, and specifically the music in that intro sounds like a superhero theme or something like that. And the images are just meh, nothing special and seem very random. But I've noticed they're very different than the ones from the Mandalorian series, for example. They use Galactic Civil War era things there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Here they use most of the Clone Wars stuff. And a bit of Rebels as well. All right, so let's get into the episode.
Okay, let's see what we're going to skip to first. So anyway, if most of you have watched, and we hope you did, because this is, well, there's a spoiler alert. Let me just get rid of the, give me a sec. Yeah, the subtitles. Basically, what we have here is the Bad Batch is going to Seleucami, and I haven't noticed that for some reason before. Like, have you guys noticed that J19 was a reference to the Clone Wars when Obi-Wan is deciphering Eeth Koth's,
hand signals, yeah.
Hand signals. Did you notice that, Jedi Knight?
Yeah, looks like he's muted.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. What about you, Todd? Did you?
Yeah, that was a really cool reference they did back there. I really loved it.
I didn't get it immediately. I'm like, what is J19? We did some speculations, like on our episode 1 discussion.
Yes.
I don't know what it might be, who the character might be. We wanted it to be Hondo for some reason, but
because I miss that guy. He's a freaking nice character, man. He's just,
he should.
I love him.
Be in everything.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Anyway, let's. Jedi Knight's going to be back as soon as he can, I'm guessing. So let's just skip a bit. Oh yeah, we have that traditional style Star Wars landing when you see the fauna and flora on the planet before the ship lands, basically. And I wasn't expecting seeing a Nexu here. What about you? Like, we haven't seen it before, on Seleucami, and we've been here a few times now.
Yeah, but then again, it's always nice to add new things to the planet. It just kind of expands, the lore of the place and everything. Yeah,
I wasn't aware that they lived there, to tell you the truth. But it really, it sets the tone for the environment. Like, it feels more dangerous when you look at it. Like, last time we were here, I remember what was on the planet? Nothing. There was no threat. It was General Grievous and Seleucami, and, that was about it.
Well, that's the thing, that I think it was unimportant at that time. But now they just want to, they want to show off how the world looks like after the war and everything,
Yeah, and my first glance at first seeing it, it seems very peaceful. Like, there's more, vegetation and everything for some reason.
Yes.
This scene was very interesting. Like, I've seen a lot of people complaining about Omega for example, like as if she's a Mary Sue or something. And I've seen on Facebook specifically in the groups that they called her a Mary Sue type simply because she shot Crosshair's sniper rifle, if you remember. But when you look at it, she's the 5th enhanced clone, you know. And why it would be ironic if she's the replacement for Crosshair, and that that she's a good shot. You know, I think that's pretty plausible when you look at it. But a lot of people have been complaining about her being female. Like, how can a Jango Fett clone be a female? And we already talked about it, but it's very. I mean, do we need a better explanation for her than the Kaminoans are really good with, you know, genetic tampering and DNA and stuff like that? And not to mention that all females have XX chromosomes and males have XY, so it's not very far-fetched, you know. Especially since this is technically science fiction, and yeah, whatever.
Also, I want to add, this is a really cool reaction, you know, from her when she first sees land.
Oh yeah, you know what I thought when seeing this? Like how a lot of people we've gotten used to so many things in life that we simply take for granted, you know. Like,
Yes.
Imagine if you never in your life seen anything else other than rain and simply white corridors and, you know, it's all metal around you, nothing living technically, you know. Like, imagine living on Camino your entire life, and I'm guessing she's a few years old, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. What would you say? Maybe born.
Yeah, this is definitely a cool reaction, and I think they pulled it off perfectly right here. And like throughout the scenes that follow here is just like, you know, she's reacting to the world around her, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. What did you say she reminded you of? If I can't remember.
You know, we'll get into that later. Let's just go ahead and yes.
Okay, let's skip to the next parts. I've noticed the CGI, the animation has never looked better, and I mean, a lot of people complain about the Clone Wars, you know, movie and everything, like back in the day, that the animation is bad or, you know, crappy. But I've never had a problem with it. But when looking at this simply looks phenomenal, especially the dust and how they did that when she was, you know, amazed by it.
Hey, I'm back.
Oh,
sorry, I had to go
there.
away. I had to go
Hello
away
there,
for a
good
second
sir.
to do something, so
No
sorry
problem.
for being silent.
With those Gizkas, the things running away,
They could have been.
just look at them.
Or no,
You know, from Knights of the Old Republic.
they don't look like Gizkas, but I could just be blind.
For some reason, I think they are. Let's see it one more time. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, just pause it and like right there.
I don't know. I'm actually
could
going to
be.
check it on Wikipedia later. But if anyone
Yeah.
in the chat sees it, let us know, or in the comment section below. So, yeah.
It could be anything.
Since you were gone, just wanted to ask
Yeah,
you,
what did I miss?
What were your thoughts on Omega, generally speaking, and you know how she was amazed when she came to Seleucami and stuff like that, or if you have a
Honestly-
problem with the character or something.
Honestly, I don't see any problems with Omega yet. She has yet to develop, but what I will say is I'm impressed at how they're kind of opening her up to the rest of the galaxy. They're basically just because she's like Anakin. She's never seen this other stuff before, in a way, because all she saw was water, but all Anakin saw was sand for his whole life.
That's
Yeah.
a really good comparison, honestly.
Yeah. So I think it's good that Omega is finally seeing the rest of the galaxy, like seeing all these lush green fields, these these snow planets, all that eventually in time. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You know, it would be cool if they added like the same reaction that she had to Seleucami to when she comes over to other planets. I want to see that, you know.
Oh, by the way, Todd, our friend is gonna join now, just so you know.
Okay.
So, do you have AK on Discord, maybe?
I don't think I do. Actually, hold on. Let me go ahead and generate a new invite link, and then I'll go ahead and check it out. I think I do, actually. Hold on a sec.
If you have him, let's invite him. And
yeah, I will. I will.
Yeah, and we'll just continue with this. Someone confirmed that those things are not Gizkas, and yeah, I think he's right. If he said those things are from the Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I think Gizkas are more frog-like. Actually, if you look closer, they don't really look frog-like.
Well, true. I don't know what they look like, honestly. They look greenish, and if I remember correctly, in the Phantom Menace, they were more desert-like. You know, they had that sand color.
Yeah,
and they were coarse and irritating.
And then they were eventually abandoned on Lihan.
Oh yeah, that was was that on in Knights of the Old Republic, right?
They on KOTOR. I remember after you crash land on Lihan, then you basically just lose all the Gizkas from your ship, so you can't morbidly execute any of them anymore. If you're going dark side anyway, or if you're just doing it for fun.
Were you able to actually kill the Gizkas, if I remember? And
yeah,
but into two more.
Yeah, you can do that, but I never did it.
Those were basically free dark side points.
Yeah.
In the game.
Actually, I think there was a cheat code where you can get infinite dark side points.
There was. I used it for the lights.
Same with light side points.
All right. Art by AK is here, so I'm gonna go ahead and add him to the stream.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Hello there, everyone.
Hello again.
Well, hello there, good sir.
Hey, what's up, mate?
Talks about Gizkas. So, episode 1, eh?
Yep. Can you just put the volume a bit up? I have a hard time hearing you.
I will try 1 second.
Yep. But anyway,
all right, let's continue on with the episode.
Let us venture forth.
Okay, let's see.
Is this better?
Yeah, that's definitely better.
Awesome. Okay. Anyway, while we're at it, what did you think of the episode in short before we go on completely?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I think it was a bit too slow.
Too slow, huh?
A bit too slow. The first episode was full of action, drama. It was moving. It had so many plot points and stories in one place that it was just crazy. But this episode as a whole was like more down to earth.
Mm-hmm.
I love the beginning when they go down to Sector 16 and land on the planet. And we see just the planet, because last time we saw it was, I think, season 2 of Clone Wars, when General Grievous's ship was destroyed and he had to run. It was night. Rex got shot and his armor actually saved him. So it was awesome to see like a transition from the night to day. And when I think Wrecker was the one who set up the booby trap. That was a nice throwback to Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And one thing I have, it's more about the ending of the episode. It's about Cut. How didn't anyone recognize him?
How did who?
How did anyone recognize him? There was like a second that Far Clone almost did, but yeah, we have to go over here.
oh, regarding this episode. Yeah, well, sheer luck, will of the Force. You always have that as an explanation in Star Wars, basically.
There is no such thing as luck, Kiadi Mundi.
Oh, yeah, Kiadi Mundi. When he says
you gotta make your own luck.
Yeah.
And then he gets blasted by the Galactic Marines.
Yeah.
Did you know Kiadi was actually a bit of a sociopath?
Yeah, I saw Wheatley's video on that.
Yeah. Kind of sucked to be him, honestly.
True, but he had his really high points. I remember reading Star Wars 1998 when he's off to a mission on Tatooine to see what's happening with the Tusken Raiders and Shard Heth, for example. He seemed like a very, a good Jedi at that point in time. But anyway, let's go on with the episode and not,
Yeah.
So this episode was a lot slower. It was slower. There wasn't so much action, and I think the best parts about it, to me at least, I enjoyed seeing Cutler Quain. I always loved seeing some callbacks to the Clone Wars, And this show, even for the first 2 episodes, is really doing its job well, if you ask me. How do you guys like seeing him again? I'm just gonna cut to that part.
I mean, to be honest, I think it was good seeing him again, just as like a way to provide some sort of fan service to people who want to know what happened to the character afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Or not like a fan service type thing, but at least provide an explanation for what he was doing after his debut episode in season 2 or season 3. Yeah, it was season 2.
Episode 9.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And no, 10. Sorry, season 2, episode 10. That's when it was. Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
What about you? What do you think, AK?
Well, first up, I have to start following in Todd's footsteps. Now let's go.
You gotta crack open a cold one.
It's keeping it at the table for the past 30 minutes. It's still cold, so it's good. What do I think? I mean, from the moment I first seen cut in season 2 a long time ago, I like the idea of the clone deserter who actually found the purpose behind the war. He became a family man, and he didn't care about anything except protecting his family. And seeing him back like this again, it was just... I think it was like eye candy for the fans. Like, you talked about this clone so much, about bringing back in Clone Wars, bringing back in Rebels, bringing back in some form, and after how many years, let's say like around 8 or 10 years, we finally get him back.
Well, yeah, it's been almost a decade basically since we started the episode.
It was amazing. The only thing we now need is how his story will end, and we need a short, like 5 to 10 minute episode or comic or something that shows him. I think he got lost after the first Battle of Geonosis, right?
I'm not sure. It was shortly after. It was in the first year of the war, definitely, but it was over Seleucami.
Yeah.
So he was fairly
the only survivor. Yeah, he was the only survivor. I remember that. So I would
he
love to see that.
He ran away from the shuttle knowing that his brothers won't survive, but he ended up being the only survivor for doing it.
Yeah. And the amazing idea is that crashed so many theories. Order 66. If you don't hear it, you don't activate it.
Yeah.
It just canonized the fact about a comic that was about Vader when he was talking to what was the name of the king on the water planet from season 5, I think, from Clone Wars.
Mon Calamari.
Yeah, Mon Calamari. Yeah. It just canonized the fact when what was the Jedi who activated Order 66 in the new clones, who were with the visitors.
Oh yeah. In the Vader comic, right?
Yeah.
Jedi Knight, you know that part, right?
Yeah, I remember seeing something like that.
Like when the surviving Jedi used the Force to activate Order 66 over again, telling the Purge troopers that Vader is a Jedi.
What was that Jedi's name again?
I can't remember.
Let me try to search. I'll search for it.
Farron Barr. That's what it was. Farron Barr.
Well, you're much better at names than we are. Definitely.
Yeah, that's what I think that's what his name was.
Yeah.
Captain Kamikaze.
Also, speaking of dead Jedi, I just thought of something about this episode. You know, it'd be weird. What if they found Master Stas Ali's body and her speeder bike? What if they found her when they were walking?
Well, when you actually mentioned that, when does this happen? This episode, is this like 2 or 3, 5 days tops after the Revenge of the Sith, or what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta take light speed into account too. I think, because how long is it? I think it usually takes like a week at the most to travel through light speed.
Pretty much.
It depends on the ship. Larger frigates need a longer time, but the smaller ships can actually go way faster.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Clone Force 99 has a better shuttle, since they are special forces or whatever, Clone Commandos at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they are half the speed of the Falcon, maybe, at least.
Maybe, but just a little bit slower than the Ebon Hawk.
Flashback to Kotor.
We gotta talk about KOTOR all the time.
I mean, it's one of the best eras of
They
Star
were
Wars.
great games. They were great
One
games.
thing, sorry.
And they still are.
Yeah. One of the best things about episode 9 is they canonized finally Revan.
And Malik and Nihilus.
Yeah, they finally
Really?
canonized that. But yeah, I
You don't
see
remember that?
There's a book about episode 9, just like for other episodes,
Oh,
that goes in depth, like those statues in what was the planet called? God damn it!
in
Where Palpatine is. Where
you mean
Palpatine is.
Exegol, Valda?
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
yeah. There are like statues, and those statues represent like the Dark Lords, and those Red Troopers have names by the ancient great Sith Lords.
Mm-hmm.
It's something like a valley of Dark Lords from the Kotor.
Oh,
There is Revan, Malak, Nihilus, and I can't remember the fourth one. That was like from the Kotor era.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
I think we should probably get back to topic.
Yeah, maybe we should. But with that said, I didn't
Let's go
even
ahead
notice that because I didn't care too much about episode 9 or sequels or anything. I actually don't give a shit what canon is and what it isn't. I think headcanon is my only way of enjoying Star Wars. So
You know what? While we're at this scene, I just love that he's still using his DC-15 blaster.
yeah, and she also has the same sniper rifle as in 10 years ago in the season 2.
Mhm.
And same clothes.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Is that like a
Alright.
cycler rifle?
I believe it is, but she was cocking it in a different way, so it's like a different kind of cycler rifle, but it's a cycler nonetheless. I
It
believe.
reminds me of Car 98 from Moisen.
I'm not. I don't know what it is. Not familiar with it.
You know, it reminds me of the. I believe it is called the Giselle from Afghanistan, and it's a traditional rifle that they
Oh,
used. And it's
yeah.
pretty much the same deal that was used by the Tusken Raiders. But yeah, all right. Let's go back to the episode.
Well, then that basically is the cycle rifle. Okay,
Yeah.
you said that he uses DC rifle still, but it's been
Yes.
about at tops 1 month after Revenge of the Sith. I think it's a few days, maybe a week.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's not really far-fetched. Okay, let's move on. Well, yeah, what do you guys think? How do they know each other, the Bad Batch and them?
That's a tricky question, honestly.
I think I just noticed something new I've never seen before in this shot.
What?
Are those the wings of a LAAT Republic gunship?
Yes, they are on top of the house.
Yes, they are.
Whoa! I've never noticed that.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you guys remember in Star Wars Rebels that bar on Lothal, which is made from the parts of an LAAT? Like the
I think I
entrance.
remember that.
Which one?
That is so cool.
Yes,
The
yes,
cantina.
that was awesome.
Yeah, that's so cool. Someone should make that from Lego. I've been planning to, but haven't come to it. Or this at least. This looks awesome as well. Looks like Shrek's home.
Stem a swamp.
What
Damn,
are
a
you doing
swamp.
in my swamp?
Stem a swamp, you imperial bastards.
When I see this, I just want to see somebody, when he smashes the door.
Just play smash. Break open the door. Cue Smash Mouth.
Definitely. I had to put my my
I was
phone
actually
on
watching
silent
Shrek
mode.
2 last night. Or not
Really?
last night, a few nights ago. I was watching Shrek 2. That's my favorite.
Yeah, Shrek
Alright,
2 is
so-
a masterpiece. Best sequel ever for anything.
Yeah.
Terminator
So,
2.
anyways, what's next?
Yeah, let's get into this.
I think they talked about the inhibitor chip here.
Yes.
Like,
Oh yeah.
And Omega actually knows about the inhibitor chip.
You know, it feels weird not having Crosshair with them. It really feels weird.
I think you'll get used to it after a couple of episodes.
Wait, Todd, look, can you go back for like 2 seconds?
yep,
I want to see something on Echo.
on Echo.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, they changed it. Watch on his like shoulder,
Wait.
not shoulder, like on his chest.
What
Yep.
did they change?
It doesn't look like a skull that he used in episode 1.
Really?
Yeah, I've been drawing it for the last half an hour, so I memorized it.
Uh-huh. Oh, by the way, everyone who's watching, Art by AK has a channel where he makes Star Wars art. We'll put the link in the description below after the stream. So yeah, he's doing a Bad Batch thing. That's how he knows. Yeah, where were we? The inhibitor chips, right?
Mm-hmm.
It appears that none of them are really aware how controlling works, if I've noticed, except for Tech. He immediately
Tech
came to
is
the conclusion.
Tech is the only one who came to the conclusion, and other than him,
We can say Echo kind of figured it out because he's now more of a machine than a man. I mean,
yeah, that was a pretty cool reference in episode 1. I love that. So anyway, Omega actually knew about those, which is pretty interesting.
Well, she worked as a medical examiner with Nala Su, right?
Yes.
yeah, but why would they tell her about that? If she's
Maybe
a clone?
because it was already over. Maybe she found out in the past few days, basically, when they killed the Jedi.
Hmm.
And it appears that she doesn't have one, despite it being a clone.
Yeah,
yeah, I
that's,
mean,
I wonder if she just never got one.
Yeah, me too. But I don't see a why did I even make her?
Well, I guess
That
we'll
will be the
find out
plot
in a
point.
couple of episodes, or maybe we won't. Maybe we'll find out in season 2 or 3.
Omega
never
is
know.
a massive mystery.
Maybe they make a bad guy out of her. We'll see.
Did you guys
I doubt
realize
she'll
this?
become a villain, honestly.
Did
But it
you
would make
realize-
cool it would make cool fan art, actually.
did
Yes,
you
AK?
guys- God damn.
Go on.
Did you guys realize that actually she's the second clone that was created by Criminals in that time period? That doesn't
Second?
have doesn't has the accelerated aging. Boba Fett and now her.
Well, maybe or maybe not. We actually don't know that yet. I'm guessing we're gonna find out her purpose eventually.
Wait.
The thing is, we
Right,
don't
Bob.
exactly know when she's made. You know,
She could have been
Actually-
made in 32 BBY, and she could be 13 years old when everyone else was made, mostly like the regular clones, or she
I was
could be
just
made
getting
like
to that.
5 years ago.
I was just getting to that, actually.
Go on. Finish for me, no problem. I'm just
No,
gonna.
no, no. You just said exactly what I was going to say. Like, what if she was the second clone ever made? What if she was next to Boba?
What if she's considered a daughter of Jango Fett?
Yeah.
What if? 1 second. I just have a crazy idea right now. What if she's the key to them getting rid of their fast aging process?
maybe we will see.
I think
I
we're
mean-
gonna see that eventually. That's gonna
I
be
don't-
very useful.
I don't know what's. There are like 2 options for Bad Batch. They were never shown in any movie or show after the Clone Wars. I mean, after the time period of Revenge of the Sith, they will either die, or they will be like Ezra, sent somewhere and be forgotten, to be returned in some TV show. Because I mean, Dave Filoni is creating now. Listen, he is in live action.
Yeah. I don't know. But what I do know is in the EU, there were plenty of clones that got rid of their advanced aging process. Like the no arcs. No, are they no arcs? No.
You mean the 5 troopers that were actually adapted by the Mandalorian, who trained them?
Yes. What are they names? I can't remember now.
1 second.
Do you know what we're talking about, Jedi Knight?
A little bit.
The Skerata clones, right?
Oh yeah, Cal Skiratas.
Yeah, I remember reading that they were even around 40 years after Endor.
Yeah, it was said that the last Jango Fett clone died in the somewhere in the 80 ABY area, maybe
80.
even 90. Or the
Oh,
last
wow.
Jango Fett clone. Because they were still making some afterwards.
Yeah, and there is one clone. What is his name? He's from 501st, the medic. He was actually
Kix.
frozen.
Kix,
Yeah,
Kix.
Kix. He was frozen on Dooku's ship,
Yes.
and he was awakened in
Then he
like,
wakes up
Force
after,
Awakens.
yeah.
You know what I like about this, our little chat here? We're not distinguishing whether something is EU or canon. We're just saying it as if it's all one.
yeah.
Except for the sequels. That's the best part about it. Fuck the sequels.
Honestly, the sequels just feel like work. They just feel like work.
Basically, when someone mentions the sequels, I'm just sick and tired of it. Like I don't consider it as existing at all.
No, because literally there's like no Jedi, there's no lore. It's just trying to be something it isn't.
He's
All right,
trying
let's
to
go
say
ahead.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Okay. Well, gonna go on with the scene or whatever. Okay. Let's see. He looks like a sailor, to me at least.
A
Like
drunken
Jolly
sailor.
Sailor.
Row your boat.
He also aged a bit, as you can see some of his gray hairs right there.
Oh goodness.
But it's been only 3 years for him, since 22 BBY when this Battle of Seleucami happened. So yeah. Oh yeah, now we have the children. Did you guys know that they're not his children technically? They're adopted by him, basically.
Well, he
anyone
did
know
want
that?
a family, and he's doing a pretty good job, so.
Yeah, very good.
When
Wait, I thought
also
he-
they're half human, half Twi'lek, by the way.
I thought
If any- What?
I thought they actually had kids. Like I thought those were actually his like pure blood, not pure blooded, but like they were from his genetics.
Yeah, I mean, it was just too early. You're like what in season 2? That's been like, let's say, max 2.5 years from now.
They're 5 and 6. I
Yeah,
actually
they're
checked
just
it.
too old. They're just too old.
Yeah. They're 5 and 6 years old. But when I watched this as a kid, like it was 2009 when the first episode came out with him. I actually thought that they were his kids, but it's simply not possible. And I remember they confirmed that they are half Twi'lek and half human from Sue's previous husband or lover or whatever,
Mhm.
But he adopted them. And I think
Yeah, you
this is-
can.
Yep.
You can actually see the discoloration on the blue Twi'lek on the face, right on top of the forehead over there.
It's honestly
Look.
weird. It's weird that we never see half breeds that much in Star Wars.
I remember in the what is it called? Like 1000 BBY, there were half Bothans, half humans fighting in the
Yeah.
Army of Light against Bane and the Brotherhood of Darkness, right?
No, I think it was the Pious Dea.
The Paladins, as they called them, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I think.
They actually looked like something from mythology,
Mhm.
like the Bothan humans mix. Nonetheless, let's get back to this.
Yeah, we're probably we're probably annoying Todd.
Todd, highlight the
I'm sorry, Todd.
highlight the comment about being almost the same age as his children. That is really that's really funny.
Good one, Luke.
It wasn't me.
Or good one.
In the chat. It's great.
Good one,
That was
dude.
fucking good.
But basically, the daughter is 5 years old. No, Cut is 13 right here. He's a 13-year-old.
Oh, that's not disturbing at all. That's perfectly normal, especially in Star Wars.
His wife is
perfect.
probably 3 times older than him.
Yeah, that's perfectly normal.
This is like watching Don't Be a Menace in the Hood while you're drinking your juice. Did anyone watch that movie?
I'm not aware of it.
It's a comedy. It's amazing.
Which one was it?
Don't Be a Menace while you drink your juice in the Hood.
Never heard of it.
It's there's like a guy who's like 13 or 14, and he has a son, and she's almost the same age as him.
Yeah. Anyways, I think this is the part where they ask Omega to go outside with them,
Yes.
and she actually
yeah.
gets to experience she gets to actually experience what it's like to have a childhood, like we did.
You guys remember, like,
Before
I'm
the
25
dog
years
dies.
old, and as time flies by, I can say the good old days, you know, like our parents used to say it. Like, I already
Yeah.
feel the need for the good old days. Like, we used to play like this outside back in the day, like 10 years ago, basically.
I mean, we could if we want to. We just have addictions.
True.
Or
We're
at
all
least-
addicted to something.
Yeah, we just have addictions that block us from actually doing the things we really want to do. And we can basically blame whatever's to blame for that. I don't know exactly what to blame.
And plus, there's bills to pay, so that's also a
Oh, yeah,
bonus.
that's it.
Life sucks.
I know.
Nothing new there.
We just got to deal with it.
So
You know, when
life
we're on the
sucks just
topic-
as much as work.
When we're on the topic of life sucking, despite me being so cynical about Star Wars today, especially Disney canon, I gotta say, I'm really happy about the first 2 episodes of The Bad Batch. And this, to me, feels like it's Friday now. And I remember 10 years ago, like even when season 1 was out, 2008, waiting
Yep.
for each Friday to watch the episode on Saturday morning. Like,
Oh yeah, god damn.
that was legendary. And
One of
and
the
I
best
feel
things
sort
ever.
of yeah. I feel sort of the same way right now with The Bad Batch. And why it is so is, I mean, 10 years ago, 11, 12, I saw Cut LaQuaine the first time in the same manner I just mentioned, you know, Saturday morning.
Mhm.
We're doing the same thing again right now, basically.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's like the whole thing with this woke stuff, the reality it may be bad now, but the reality is it's not going to last forever because everything has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And I feel like it's entering its middle, and I think we're gonna go back to loving stuff like this again. Like this stuff is probably gonna make a comeback one day, and we're all gonna try to recover from this last 6 years now of derogatory bullshit.
It's actually even been longer, but we haven't been paying attention, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
think
honestly.
but you see
I'm
my
not really
point,
sure
though.
how. Yeah, I'm not sure how it's gonna go. I'm not really hopeful about it, but I think that when you look at it, George Lucas was an independent filmmaker, you know, without Hollywood and stuff like that. And most of the classical movies and stuff we love today was done by smaller studios and independent people. If we went back to that, creativity would flourish, I think. But
That's
today,
what I really
Hollywood,
want.
yeah, Hollywood today is simply doing the least that they can to get the cash grab at the same time, and they're not pushing the boundaries of being creative and storytelling. They're just pushing the boundaries on being woke and getting the woke points on Twitter or whatever, sadly. And Star Wars is from George Lucas, independent creator. That's why it was so good and legendary for almost 50 years. Soon it's going to be 50.
Yeah.
Can't even believe it. Feels so old.
And there it is again. You can see his gray hair sticking out.
Yeah.
You can even see mine. Yeah, we're almost there. I'm 25. We're almost there.
Give it till.
Don't complain.
Let's just wait till we hit 30, then we'll actually hit the midlife crisis.
I actually feel like I already hit it like 5 years ago.
I think we all experienced that at one point. We just hit a midlife crisis in our youth.
Yeah, I mean, time.
Wait, stop.
Yep,
Is that the guy from the Rebels? On the left.
this guy.
Yeah, is that the same guy from the Rebels?
I mean, it's the same species.
Well, you know, it can always be the same guy, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
In Rebels, it was he
It's hard
was
to
selling
tell.
fruit, right?
Yeah, he was in episode 1.
Well, you know, he could be, but at the same time, in the Clone Wars, we also saw this guy, some guy of this species, on Mos Eisley in, you know, the Cantina, as well.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? Since this is just at the beginning of of the rise of the Empire, like a few weeks maybe. We've noticed that the Empire already changed the symbols even in small towns like this, like you'll see right now.
Yes.
They did?
Yeah,
Yeah, just-
Yeah, if you pay close attention to the booth that the clone trooper's standing in the bay, you can actually see the Imperial logo on top of it.
It's always the small details that stick out the most in most media. Like, it's always the small details.
Hunter really looks like Rambo in this
Yeah.
episode because of the clothing, like very much.
Rambo. I mean, if you give him a blue suit or something, he could look like Austin Powers.
What did the mission? Terminal.
You ever see that movie, Austin Powers?
I'm aware of it, but I actually never watched it, to my shame.
You're gonna love the Spy Who Shagged Me. That was a good one.
I'll check it out. Anyway, here's the Imperial symbol already, like the logo and everything. Like,
I think
yep, go on.
I think they also have the officer uniforms already, or
No, those are the same universe. Not universe. Uniforms that use the admirals.
why do I keep forgetting that? I feel like because I've been taking a break from this, I feel like I've been forgetting a lot of lore recently.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think it's the same thing from the Republic as well.
I mean, there is no time because clones could use the stormtrooper armor already, but they're not.
Yeah, it looks like we're getting some.
I mean, Palpatine did
Stream
plan for
problems.
so many things, but
Yeah, hold on. Looks like we're getting some stream problems.
Yeah,
Over here on YouTube.
I don't think we're still streaming, right?
Yeah.
stream is unavailable.
Temporarily blocked because he's
Policy
Detecting-
violation.
copyright audio and video.
Why audio?
Well, that's what it says here. So
Ah, shit. Maybe because the episode's too new, huh?
probably,
Maybe.
or maybe because you
Maybe I
showed too
shouldn't
much.
have played the scenes at all.
Yes, just skip through the scenes.
Mm.
But you guys can still hear the audio, right?
A little bit.
I think it's back right now.
Yeah,
Are we
looks
back?
like it. Yeah,
We'll
looks
just
like it.
ask the chat. Are we back, guys?
Yeah, looks like we're back. All right.
How did that
Prepare
happen?
Screenshots for the next
All right,
time.
so go ahead and just skip through the scenes. Don't
Yeah,
play
okay,
anything.
no more playing scenes, apparently.
How about we just use them as like screenshots?
yeah,
that could
Yeah,
work.
I'll just skip it that way. No more scenes.
We'll just
sorry,
sh-
everyone, for the-
We'll get the good screenshots in.
And there's
Yeah,
a certain characters in Star Wars who would say something right now. Misa back.
Misa no want to come back.
Misa called Jar Jar Binks. Misa your humble servant. No, Misa stay. All right, let's just go for it.
Okay, they decided that we didn't violate their terms. Nice.
All
I've never seen this happen before.
Press
Well,
F
you've
in the
seen it
chat.
now, boy.
That's
F in the
so weird.
chat.
Okay, we were on the topic of the Empire spreading throughout the galaxy, and they're already in a shit town on Saleucami, like some small settlement.
Yeah, F in the
How's
chat,
that
by the way.
possible in a few days?
Mm,
I mean, in episode
I-
1, in about a few
I-
hours, they already painted Camino completely gray.
I think mass producing or something like that, or just good technology. Just advanced civilization stuff that can't ever be explained.
Yep, maybe. Or
they're
maybe
using
time
the
has
tax
passed, we
money,
just
right?
don't know it.
All right, let's just keep going.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, what I've noticed with the clone troopers here, and a topic I really like regarding this, is that do you guys think that they're all new recruits? I mean, not recruits, shinies technically,
You mean from the second?
because they don't
DNA?
seem to be controlled by an inhibitor chip or still under the influence of it. So maybe they're new clones and they simply got into the Imperial regime thinking that they have to be very obedient and work the way they do in this episode, or do you think they already change their battalion colors into simply white for the Empire.
I mean, in terms of the inhibitor chips, like the Jedi are Order 66 is already enacted, so I don't think they need the inhibitor chips anymore.
Yeah, but it changed just their what's it called, thoughts and everything. It makes them droids.
Good point.
And there could be actually two things. You remember that Palpatine started creating new clones at almost the end of the Clone Wars because he needed more numbers for the Jedi Purge.
I think he also tried doing some from a variety of other templates.
And in the end, he just cut it to look like he smashed Django's DNA with something else. It was way less effective, but it got numbers up. It was good enough for Order 66.
So, are they new recruits? These guys?
They could be.
Probably.
I'm just wondering how long until we see Stormtrooper armor come to play.
I mean, we've seen almost like what 212, 501st, and maybe like a few other companies that are actually good with their Jedi's. But not all of the Jedi's are like the Jedi's from the High Council or Anakin or Obi-Wan. Some Jedi's like Punk Krell hated their clones, and clones hated them. Hated him better though. So there could be actually millions and millions of clones that felt the same.
Maybe we're going to see Stormtrooper armor like in 18 BBY, like a year after this already. Like if you remember, in 18 BBY regarding the Force Unleashed in the EU, you already had a mix of Phase 2 clones with a Stormtrooper. Like they didn't have divided visors. They had the exact same visor as the Phase 2s, but with the Stormtrooper helmet. If you guys ever noticed that in the Force Unleashed, like when Vader is in Kashyyyk, for example. So we might see that, but in the war, we should be seeing some for the 501st, for example, in the coming year. If we actually see them, they should still have blue armor for at least a year, and then after it, slowly they're all going to become white.
Yeah, so I think in the show we're going to be seeing like a transition slowly. So we're going to be seeing clone helmets as well as Stormtrooper helmets like here and there, you know?
Yeah, something like that. Also, I'm wondering if they'll ever create a clone trooper variant that has the prototype Phase 2 armor, just like the ARC troopers had in the Citadel mission and in the Battle of Camino.
Oh, that would be awesome, actually. Imagine seeing a prototype version of Phase 2.
You know, this is actually pretty cool.
There is a prototype version. I'm just wondering if they would ever make like a clone, special type of clone that would just purely use that, is what I was saying.
Like a Stormtrooper ARC trooper.
Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know
this is actually a pretty cool comment we got. Hold on, I'll bring it up on the screen over here. Mm-hmm. So it says, if you look at the previous episode, you'll see Stormtrooper armor in the mess hall. The two clones in the serving line and helmets off clearly show Stormtrooper back armor design with the O and double I.
They do.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I haven't noticed that. I'm gonna have to yeah.
We may have to
open
that up and see it again. Yeah. And this is actually pretty cool.
And we already came to the conclusion in the when watching and reviewing the first episode that the clones in the cafeteria are all shinies because of how they act. They weren't the angry follow orders types like the Coruscant Guard was. So they could be already going through the transition.
Yeah. Well, in any case, thanks for pointing that out, John.
Speaking of the Coruscant Guard, I think a lot of troopers actually hated them because all they did was just sit on the Capitol and just guard Palpatine. They never saw any action, and pretty much a lot of them got salty about it whenever they would bring it up.
Actually, they did. Other clone legions actually hated the Coruscant Guard. They seemed like beneath everyone else.
Well, yeah, because they were I don't know if it's most of them or some of them were actually bred on Coruscant, like
instead of Camino.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, one of our newest lore videos is about all the guards in the Clone Army from the Clone Wars, and the Coruscant Guard. Some of them are bred on Coruscant, and specifically to be loyal to Palpatine more than anyone in the entire Clone Army. I think that's why we have them on Camino immediately. Like, remember when Hunter was really, well, he didn't understand why they were there, you know?
In episode 3, Palpatine didn't bring his royal guards, he brought them to Mustafar.
Yeah, true.
Exactly.
And one more thing about them. What? They had like Zillow-based attack, droid infiltration, Battle of Coruscant, Jedi Purge. And actually that's it about... Oh yeah, and hunting Ahsoka. Those are the only things that they actually did, like combat-wise.
Well, yeah, that's probably the most they did, I think. Maybe they actually.
Oh yeah, and they hunted Jabba's cousin.
They probably fought at the Battle of Coruscant, I think.
Yeah, I said that. And they saved Amidala from Jabba's cousin. That was his name. I think Zero the Hutt, right?
Yeah, Zero.
Yes.
Yeah, true. Anyway, let's go on with the episode and whatever. What I've also noticed here is, especially when they're fighting at the end of the episode, the clone troopers, there are a lot of them for such a small settlement. Don't you guys think? Like, there was at least 30, 40, 50. That's quite a lot of troopers for a small settlement, I think.
I mean, you gotta at least show your authority in some way, and I think because the Empire's philosophy was pretty much quantity over quality, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Later on, yeah.
Later
So
on, but
I think they were. I think they
Yeah, I
were just
guess that
using
was
this
just-
as like an intimidation tactic.
Yes. That was like a classic show of force, pretty much. So.
Yeah, but actually they could actually be there from before because droids were there in large numbers. And Palpatine would definitely use that excuse to put more troops on any planet he freed. Like, freed, you know? He would use, I think he used the same thing on Mandalore, on Rylaf. Everywhere the Clone Republic freed the planets.
Free the planets for safe.
He actually just brought way more troops in there, like occupation.
We have to free the planets for a safe and secure society.
No, he actually says society.
Yeah.
Society. Like he's out of breath.
He sounds like he's having a stroke.
Society.
And they're like, and the Emperor had a stroke.
I love that speech from. I really liked that they put it in episode 1. That was so satisfying.
Yeah, the second he says society, the second he says society, is like cue the arm raise and the thunderous applause.
I don't remember. Did they use Imperial March in the last episode?
They did already, I think.
I don't know. Did they do it? I mean, I would love if they did, but
have you guys noticed that that's one of the most satisfying things about this specific era in Star Wars? Like, when the Republic becomes the Empire, I never thought of it being so interesting when you see all the small changes, like more and more with each episode. I love that attention to detail there, and I think we as fans appreciate that the most. Like in episode 1, all the small changes with the colors and everything.
Yeah.
It was so effective and so satisfying. Just even when the Bad Batch was simply commenting on what is this and what is that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's fascinating how interesting something simple like that can be for us.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, with that said, you guys said that they were showing force here with at least 50 troopers.
Yeah, something like that.
This is just a small settlement in a wide galaxy. How many new clone troopers did they really have then?
A lot.
I don't remember. How many did they have at the start of the war? Like around 10 or 15 million, right?
Yeah, somewhere around 50 million to... I think it was 50 million.
And after Battle of Geonosis, it was cut drastically. I mean, there were like, 1,000 commandos or 2,000 of them in the opening Battle of Geonosis. And only like 40% of them survived.
Oh shit! Didn't know that, and I didn't know the information about 50 million. I don't know where it's from.
15, not 50. I mean, that would be gigantic for the Republic.
Oh, 15.
Oh, 15. My bad.
Oh, well, I don't know where that's from. I never heard that information about how many. I just know, and a million more well on the way. That's all.
A billion more.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on here with the episode. I think this is we're coming to the part with the ball part.
I'm sorry, Adam just corrected me. He says there are only 8 million clones at the start.
8 million at the start.
Yeah, I hate the idea of only 8 million clones. Adam, I will butcher the last name, so we'll let him try.
Well, that is literally not enough to take a galaxy when you look at it.
Yeah.
Like I remember reading the Yuuzhan Vong comics and novels or whatever. The Yuuzhan Vong invasion attacked the entire Star Wars galaxy, let's call it that way, since they're outside of the galaxy. They killed trillions, like 300 trillion, something like that. So technically, if they killed so much, you need a much bigger army. You need at least 1 billion clones to do anything.
Yeah. Did you actually know that one of the scout ships, I don't remember was this Legends or Canon, I think it was Legends, definitely. It was a plot point for one of the Clone Wars episodes that Yuuzhan Vong were coming during the Clone Wars, one of their scout ships. And that was the one who was actually supposed to fight them. But it was a cancelled episode.
Well, it was cancelled because of Disney, sadly. It was supposed to be in season 7 or 8 originally. Too bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have the ball part here. Like, did you guys know something bad was going to happen when they said don't go after the ball?
I just, like, there's...
I think so.
It was a bit too obvious, yeah.
Like, don't do it, but you know you'll have to do it. And
well, you know, she is naive. She is still naive and young, and I think that's completely... I already saw some people calling her stupid for it or something like that, but...
I mean, what if they were locked up in a goddamn facility with millions and millions?
She's just a child, so of course she's going to be all naive.
Alien species that actually mutates their own and kills off those who are not, like, worthy of their standards.
Mm-hmm.
And you give that child a freedom, like, first time in forever. I love the opening where she looks at the sky and she's, like, blinded. I love that. It shows so much character, depth, and, like, making her a real person more than just an animated character.
It seems like they were actually thinking how would a real person react to seeing something so something we see every day, we take for granted, to see something different for the first time. Yeah, that was really well done.
Definitely.
But,
I mean, the haters, goddamn, we have her only for 2 episodes, and in the last episode we had her, like, for what, 3-4 minutes tops. This is more about her. I mean, we got way more about her, but still, why do you hate on a character if she shot Crosshair's rifle? Before that and after that, she shot and shot and shot and missed. She aims like a stormtrooper, so everyone can get lucky. Don't hate.
Yeah, I think mostly people already dislike her is probably because of the track record Disney has with putting female characters in for the sake of, you know, pandering to the feminists.
Yeah,
or whatever.
but this is the first time they're doing it right.
Well, I wouldn't say the first.
I mean, not the first time.
I know
one of the times that they're actually doing it right. I love the idea of
she doesn't feel like she's forced in any way. She feels like she came in naturally, and there's an explanation as to what she's doing there.
I mean, Ahsoka started like a whiny little brat, and then she became one of the most beloved characters ever. We have Hera and Sabine in the Rebels. In this beginning, I was thinking like, God damn, here we go again. But by the end of the show, they became such an amazing characters. Especially Sabine with the Mandalorian heritage and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, completely agree.
I mean, in the original trilogy, we have Leia. In prequels, we have Padme. I mean, such amazing characters. And don't judge them just because they're women. I mean, they're just...
I even enjoyed Jyn Erso.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, don't judge character because she's a woman. We're not living in the 50s. We're not living in the 60s. Get over it.
Honestly, none of us here judge them because she's a woman,
Yeah, I
or
mean,
any of them
I'm
because
talking
they're
about
women.
idiots.
We're judging them because they're
Shit characters.
Yeah, but
Or
I'm
good.
talking about idiots who will jump at the first sign of anything.
And you know,
and
with
talk
that
shit
said,
about it.
I think that idiots who simply hate on it for being a female or something like that are really giving all of the rest of us a bad rep. That
Yeah,
you know,
seriously.
when The Force Awakens came out, everyone who didn't like the movie, well, basically we were called sexist or whatever for not liking
Yeah,
it, because
the
they immediately
phobes.
assumed it was because she was a woman lead. It had nothing to do with it. She was a
No.
shit character that was good at everything. You know.
And I don't think the movie
Yeah,
was even
I mean,
supposed to be about
they
her. I
had
think it was supposed to be
potential.
about Finn.
But Finn, I actually love the Finn in the first movie. Such
Same
an
here.
amazing idea, like a stormtrooper with defects. Like amazing.
Yeah, it was a nice idea, but still sequel shit.
I mean,
Okay, nonetheless, let's continue.
we
We've
need
come
sequel
to the
cuts.
conclusion. Yep. Sorry.
We need sequel cut, like Zack Snyder's cut, but just for sequels.
Honestly,
I
if I could
don't-
rework the sequels, I would definitely keep a couple characters, but I'd get rid of most of them. I just keep the ones that would actually work.
I don't know what was the point of Snoke. He was an amazing character in the beginning, and then he was just swept aside.
My
That's
issue
one
is
of
there was
my biggest regrets about.
my
Let's
issue
go
is
ahead and let's go ahead and listen to Carlos over here in the comments and talk about the episode.
okay.
Yeah, we got off track a bit. Yeah.
We can't help it. It's like a disease. Like this
I
mean,
nerd
there's
talk is a
so much.
disease.
There's so much.
This
We're
nerd talk
streaming
is a
for
disease.
66 minutes.
Okay, so that's basically it on this part, right?
Yeah.
Here we have
Sniper
Rambo.
rifle in action again.
We
Which
have
is pretty
Rambo
cool.
here. And when it comes to that, I'm amazed that since the Empire is making a hit on the Bad Batch, you know, how come no one in the town notices his tattooed face and the bandana?
I don't know.
Space Cowboys.
I mean,
Well, I didn't think
imagine
of that.
imagine if they caught them, but they ended up catching their stunt doubles like they did in Spaceballs. They're like, you
Yeah, that-
idiots! You've captured their stunt doubles.
What do
Oh,
we do
for the
now?
hell.
We watch the tape.
Yeah. And I think that Hunter is more, I think they can recognize Hunter more easily than Cutler Quain because they're looking technically for the Bad Batch. And he's so obvious there. This guy at least wears the hat and has the weird, beard thingy.
It's just painfully obvious. He should at least wear some sort of covering or giant hat to protect himself or his identity.
I mean, that was
Yeah,
my
just like
first
Cut.
complaint. That was my first complaint when I saw this episode. Like,
I mean, look at what
No.
Wrecker's doing right there. He's got a poncho and everything.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, Wrecker is actually, and his face is burned, and he's way bigger than a usual clone. So he
Is
can
his
actually pass.
is his face burnt though?
Actually,
Yeah.
I think it's burned or something.
And
Yeah,
I
it's
think
got
it's
some
just
scars over it.
yeah, it might just be scarring.
But he actually
Maybe.
doesn't look like a reg. While Hunter removed the face paint, I mean tattoo over his face, or whatever, birthmark, let's say it, he looks exactly like the rest of them. Same for the cut.
I don't know. I mean, take a look at their faces, for example. Cutler, have you guys noticed in the Clone Wars that the transition from season 3 to season 4, like phase 1 armor to phase 2, the animation got a bit better, with the Umbara arc, for example.
Yes.
Have you noticed the differences in the faces? How much better it became with the better animation?
Their
Like,
faces move a lot more fluently than they did before.
yeah, that too. And I think for Cutler Quain here, they
more
kept
fluid.
the same model of the face from the first 3
The
episodes. Don't you
Yeah,
think?
like,
I think.
because
Wait.
I mean, compare it to any clone. Compare it to Rex from season 4, 5, 6, 7. Compare it, and you see that it's the old model of the face from the first 3 seasons.
Yeah, like no body, everything but the foot and doll face.
Because when you look, and also Hunter, technically, let's just skip it a bit. Hunter looks like he has a different chin from all the rest of the clones. Like he's slightly modified.
Honestly, in terms of the animation, that's a thing with hopefully if I can get my shows off the ground and start my own independent film company or something, that's a thing I really think people should work on is fluency. Because if it gets all
What,
choppy, then it kind of just dumps down in quality in some ways. And I think
animation, you mean?
Clone Wars really improved with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know that actual Clone Wars in the beginning, episode costed like 2 million per episode.
Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Season one. Clone Wars.
Wow.
Imagine this. After like what, 2008 to 13 years later.
If this was made
The
in
show of
2008 with
this time,
this,
it's longer than Clone Wars. It uses different sites of it. I mean, Clone Wars did the same thing, but other characters, everything, and everything has to be like brand new. And there are always some new details because now they were changing more to Empire. I think they would easily be spending few millions per episode. I would actually say that they spend over 10 million for the first episode.
Yeah, it's like 3.5 episodes, but basically when you
Like,
look at
seriously, I would think they would. I think, I don't know. I'm not in the CGI business, but that time, that work and everything, just for the people who work on it, their paychecks and then directors and everything, like, goddamn.
But honestly, I'm just going to go a bit off topic here regarding that, what you just said. I've heard that Mandalorian, each episode costs 15 million. To me, for a series so meh, for 15 million, it's idiotic beyond belief, because if the Clone Wars episodes costed 2 million each.
but the cinematography is decent. Actually,
Yeah,
It is, but this is simply better storytelling for much less money, and I mean it's more appealing to me than the live action crap they did with the Mandalorian.
I didn't watch Mandalorian still, so I can't comment.
Oh,
I mean, I watched first 4 episodes, but it got out first, like when 2 years ago, 3. I don't even remember. I was like, oh, god damn, it's just going too slow. I want to see some real action. And then
Well, yeah,
I forgot about it, and now I can't bring myself to pick it up.
well, honestly, if you ask me, you're not gonna miss anything. To be fair,
I watched
it's
some
too slow. It's too meh
clips from
for so much money.
Boba and Bo-Katan and Ahsoka. I watched a few clips of them, and I loved it. Maybe only because of that I watched the show.
Well, honestly, that's the reason to watch it. Basically, the legacy characters make it that,
Mm.
and most of them come from this show, basically, or the OT. Anyway, I think this is my favorite part of the episode here. What happens here? Like, she feels. Why I'm saying that is just look at what Cut is doing here. He's a clone deserter who wanted a family. And despite Disney's agenda and stuff like that, this show keeps the same moral values as the Clone Wars did regarding the characters. Well, how should I say this? Well, the characters have the same moral values, if you know what I mean. Like, they didn't change anything for the Hollywood PC people. They simply, I mean, the importance of family in this episode really reflects what with the Clone Wars, which it was from George Lucas, basically. So I really appreciated this part here the most, because it really shows, despite this not being his kid technically, I mean, not even the other two are, but you know, he's a good dad.
Yeah,
just
that's
love
the
that
thing.
part.
Like,
he became more of a father figure to them than he was a soldier ever before.
that's the
And
thing
he
I feel
says
is
that
missing
himself.
that's the thing I feel like it's missing in a lot of media. Like, people are there's like a lot of father figures that are missing.
True. What do you think, Todd? Is he there?
Todd?
Technical difficulties.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. What do you think about that? The family moment, or you know, the father.
Yeah, I
figure?
think it was really nice, and I think it ties in really nicely with the Clone Wars and just how Cut develops as a character as well.
I remember there were stories of Jedi falling in love with clones. and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I know my
female
friend
Padawan.
Matt wrote. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Female Padawan she fell in love with Clone Commando, and then a Mandalorian took her child and trained him.
I actually never went through that story, but it really reminds me of this. Like it's reminiscent of this in a lot of ways. But yeah, anyway,
It's similar to, sorry, off topic again. It's similar to the story from the Kotor MMO RPG. Best Lashan, her granddaughter, what was her name? She became a grandmaster as well.
Satele,
yeah.
and Jace Malcolm.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. And also one thing that I've noticed as well, I'm curious to see what you guys think about it. How Hunter is immediately thinking about her going with Cutler Queen when they're wanting to leave the planet, Like they never technically had a family, had parents, the Bad Batch, since they're clones or whatever. But he seems to have that instinct that kids should be in a family, have a mother and a father, and the way God intended, if I might say so. So I really appreciate stuff like that here. Despite them not having it or knowing it, it seems like their moral values are pointing towards that she would be better off with other children and with a father figure and a mother as well.
I mean, we can say Hunter, he was definitely in the first Battle of Geonosis, and through the entire Clone Wars, they were sent to the first of the worst missions. And for him, a man like a soldier, seeing everything and do everything he did, he would respect family because he would need something to fight for. Yeah, his orders are one thing, but Bad Batch never followed orders. So I think the thing that drove them is try to save those families. That's their only purpose in the war.
Yep.
And even he says himself, there is no place for her with us because we're soldiers. And then cuts him off. I mean, the war is over. You're no longer soldiers. You're deserters like me.
Yeah.
Something like those lines. But it just reflects so much on Hunter like a person. A man who was scarred by warfare and everything.
Yeah. Despite it seeming like they enjoyed it, the thrill of the battle. Despite that, it really shows in this episode. Actually, it gives more depth to Hunter and the Bad Batch generally than Omega when you look at it.
Yeah, I first thought Echo would be my favorite in the show, but now seeing more and more of Hunter, he's slowly but surely becoming my favorite from the group.
Who would have known, huh? We've been watching Echo since 2008, but Hunter.
And then we lost him. Then we lost him at Citadel, and then we got him back.
Have you guys ever? Yep, go on. Sorry.
Now that I think of it, man, Echo is pretty quiet in the Bad Batch. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, he's that. It's almost suspicious, isn't it?
No, I mean, he was always quiet. He only did repeat the orders.
Yeah.
Imagine Echo from the beginning of the war. Like, what was the post name where they were settled? Where Heavy died.
Oh, Heavy.
Yeah, where he died, like that moon outpost.
Rishi Moon, yeah.
Rishi Moon outpost, yeah. Imagine that Echo, the guy who followed orders by the thief. If he was during the Order 66. I mean, he would just quickly become the new Crosshair.
Maybe.
But he just grew so much as a character, thanks to Fives, thanks to Cody, thanks to Rex. I mean, most of the Fives and Rex.
Yeah. What I find fascinating the most about Echo, after 13 years of the character existing, is it's been 13 years and we're still watching a story of a random clone who was a shiny. You ever think of that, guys?
And there's so much to tell still.
That's what the Clone Wars did the best, I think. They did the clone troopers amazingly.
Yeah.
Like no other media.
Yeah, like I like clones more in Clone Wars than Jedi.
Same here.
I mean, some Jedi get killed. Big whoop. There's 10,000 of them. So yeah, a clone. God damn it, there's not enough of them.
Also, there was another thing I thought of. Do you think Wrecker might actually make a good like Big Brother for Omega, because despite the fact that he has a stuffed animal and still sleeps with it, I think he'd make a good
yeah.
Big Brother for him.
He
Or for
reminds
her.
me of Zeb. He reminds me of Zeb.
Zeb.
Yeah, from Rebels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in a way, yes. But I think he's more of a teddy bear here than Zeb is.
Yeah, I mean,
In
but
Rebels.
Zeb was like a big brother to Ezra, right?
Oh yeah.
In a way,
The bunk
yes.
Yes.
the bunk beds and all that, you know,
Yeah.
they were
Still,
buddies.
it's Wrecker sleeping with a stuffed animal. It kind of fits him.
Definitely. Wrecker is like the comedy of the
Yeah,
team.
like,
in a way.
seriously.
Like, remember when Crosshair says he cried? He actually cried when he saw the weapon, the barracks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even when he was first showed in the revived Clone Wars, when Anakin
Honestly-
gave him the trigger to blow up the ships, he was
Actually-
like a little kid.
I have a funny question. Say if they were to walk on a jungle planet, say Duxon, for example, someone is about to walk into a pit of quicksand or something. Who would be the first to walk in?
Sand.
I think it'd be Wrecker.
Wrecker.
Yes. Actually, speaking of it, I think he actually gets stuck in this weird Sarlacc creature from what I saw in the trailers, and I'm like, what the fuck is that thing?
I mean, they were all
Or was
in Umbrella, right? That
I
was
mean-
from there. That creature.
At least
I
I
think.
think that was a Sarlacc. I don't remember. But anyways, shall we proceed?
Yep. By the way, I actually saw a promo that Wrecker's going to be fighting a small Rancor. Like a baby
yeah.
Alright.
I seen that too,
Interesting.
like this morning, right? It got out.
I think that he's the type of character that's never going to be killed off because he's too lovable to be killed off. And every time something big attacks him, and it's definitely going to attack him or something like that, he's going to beat it in a funny way in the end,
Mhm.
definitely.
He reminds me a bit of Gregor
What?
in Rebels. He reminds me a bit of Gregor in Rebels after the explosion and everything.
Oh, yeah. But sadly, Gregor dies.
Yeah.
That's what really... I didn't like that too much. I wish
Yeah,
he survived
seriously.
until Endor. So, yeah. Do you guys have anything to add to the following scenes or something like that? Let's see what we have here. Oh, yeah. Did you know that they brought back all the
Actress.
actors that played the actress for Sue and everyone? Like, despite it being a small role, they brought everyone back
Yeah.
from 12
What's
years
the
ago.
guy who voices the clones?
Yeah, D. Bradley Baker.
Yeah, I mean,
Bradley
the guy is probably talking to himself, like, for the last, 2 episodes?
Yeah, just imagine his job in the Clone Wars, eh?
I think this is even more. Like,
This is
Clone
even
Wars-
more.
In Clone Wars, you had some Jedi's, you had some Admirals, you have Palpatine, Maul, Ahsoka, and people like that. But here, it's clones 24/7.
Yeah. You know, I used to imagine like different cartoon characters interacting with each other, and I always wondered what kind of scenarios would they be in and how would it turn out?
I mean, so many same voice actors voiced so many characters in different shows.
Especially James Arnold Taylor.
Yeah, like seriously, that guy.
I love that
man,
guy.
Respect.
Are you guys still in contact with him?
Sort of, yeah. He's been a bit quiet since all the drama that happened, but
Yeah, I'm just hope he's doing okay. Especially
Same
after all
here.
that.
I sent him an email of support not long ago because I hope he's well. But his Instagram says it's okay. At least that's what it seems like.
That's good.
And stuff like that. Okay, let's move on. When we were talking about the voices, for the clones, I remember the promo for the Umbara arc, how one guy is doing the entire 4-episode arc, and how it was a big deal. Just imagine the work here on every single episode.
I think he said his favorite episode ever was episode 5 from season 1, when they go to Rishi Outpost,
Cookies.
where the guy who voices the clones, I always forget his name, because he voiced every single clone in there. He talked to himself, quite literally. He said
Yeah,
it was his favorite scene.
Basically, yeah. Okay, and let's move on with the episode. I don't have much to say about the plan here. Do you guys have anything smart?
It was kind of stupid.
I have to
It was
say,
rushed.
I have to say something actually. Tech, for a smart guy, you are incredibly stupid.
Yeah, but it worked in the end.
Echo, you're not innocent in this either. You shouldn't have told him to do it. And you should have checked for Omega to make sure she wasn't on there.
I can't believe that they didn't notice her just sitting, right
Like,
2
seriously.
meters away from them.
And like,
they're special
dude,
forces.
she's right there. How can you not see her?
Use the force.
Hello there, basically.
Jedi mind trick, You see, it's a Jedi mind trick.
I really like her New Zealand accent. It's
Yeah.
satisfying for me to listen to it for some reason.
You know, when you look at the entire episode, like from start to finish, and when you compare it to the first one as well, and just see everything that Omega is doing, it really reminds me of Jar Jar in a way. Because
Yeah,
she
serious.
is, because the thing is, like, she is really clumsy, and she's got all the luck with her, and that really reminds me of Jar Jar. So, I mean, we'll see where this is going, but
Only
there
she's not
again.
stupid. Only she's not stupid.
Hey, people, don't forget, Jar Jar is a Sith Lord.
Oh yeah.
listen back.
Who hasn't heard of that? Yeah, you can't be a Star Wars fan unless you know about Darth Jar Jar.
I think Robot
Basically.
Chicken actually started that.
I think that's the only generalization we should have in the Star Wars fandom. That you're not a Star Wars fan if you don't know about Darth Jar Jar.
Like, seriously.
Exactly.
Like, go away. You don't know Star Wars if he's not a Sith Lord.
You are committing
that-
heresy. You are committing heresy.
It says here you're a heretic.
I hereby arrest you for heresy for not knowing the character of Darth Jar Jar Binks, and you are sentenced to be burned at the stake.
You guys remember those edits of in the trailers with the Jar Jar stuff? Like Kylo Ren mask, it's instead Jar Jar.
Yeah.
God, that thing.
That was amazing. But then you
That
can
was
watch Robot Chicken, Darth Jar Jar.
Oh yeah.
That
Actually,
was amazing.
Before we get back to that,
when Palpatine apologizes to Jar Jar when he's
Yeah.
flying down the reactor shaft.
Yeah, it was great. Just
actually,
great.
before we get back to the episode, there was something I wanted to bring up last stream, but I forgot to tell you guys about.
Yep.
Does anyone here remember Grocery Store Wars,
Hmm.
or have heard of it?
Oh, is that like a TV show parody, right?
No, it was a little YouTube video someone did. It was a parody of Star Wars. It had Obi-Wan Kenobi, Cuke Skywalker, Princess
sounds
Lettuce.
That
That
sounds
reminds me of Family Guy now.
Yeah, Luke, Todd, I'll send a video to you guys. It was a big part of my childhood.
no problem.
But anyways, back to the thing.
Yep. Let's see
Here
what we have
go,
next. Yeah, that wasn't really a good plan. But yeah. And also when they check these ships like they do here, that's really like, do they not know that there are always secret compartments? Like are they so stupid every time?
No, they just don't
I
get
mean,
it.
it's
they
Star
are.
Wars. It's Star Wars, so
It's
It's
Star
a
Wars.
job.
Every
Dude,
single
it's a-
regular trooper is just really incompetent and doesn't know how to do their job right.
no. They
Exactly.
don't give a crap about it. Like, we won the war. We don't give a crap if he's smuggling like what spices. Sure, give us some. Fuck off. We want to go.
Yeah, it's basically like, oh yeah, we checked it. Like, who cares?
Like,
But
serious.
at the same time, those troopers, when they see like a identification code not right, they make a big fuss.
Yeah.
Like that's what you
it's
usually
in
have.
public. It's in public. I mean,
Yeah, they make a big fuss, but when it's like something like this, yeah, it's sort of. It's
they
no
need to
one
be
cares.
seen working.
When you come to that topic of working, like every time there's the scene of the Death Star, like for example in The Force Unleashed, when you see the Death Star for the first time, you see someone Like, how would you describe that, Todd? I can't
It's like
remember.
welding stuff, but you don't really
Yeah.
see what he's welding. He's just welding stuff. You know, he's
Yeah,
doing
and TIE
stuff so you
fighters
can
flying
see.
over and
It's always
yeah.
welding for the sake of welding to see that he's doing something, some random someone. So that's what they're doing here.
like seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the best way to get rid of your boss. So
Oh, and this here is what happens when you park your car in the wrong spot.
Yep.
and one stupid thing was like, why didn't Tech or Echo just press the button and release this goddamn magnet?
Yeah, true.
If Wrecker,
I mean, both of them are clones.
if
Close
Wrecker
like
was
that
in
up.
there, he would just start blowing shit up like there was no tomorrow. It'd just be like, I'm not going stealth anymore. That didn't work last time. Let's just blow everything up.
Oh yeah,
That-
they still
that-
have grenades. He still has like a full box of grenades from episode 1.
Yeah. Oh yeah, how like Tech says in episode 1, I'm not gonna sleep next to a projectile.
Yeah.
Just yeah. I really like Echo's helmet here. Really new design. And Lego actually released the images of the Bad Batch shuttle with the characters.
Yeah.
A very underwhelming set, if you ask me. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I actually put a community post for it, but
Honestly, I wish they didn't do Crosshair in his villain armor, is what I call it.
yeah.
I wish they didn't do Crosshair that way.
I just don't like his hand.
Because he's not
Why
going to
did
be
they-
bad throughout the whole series, at least to our knowledge.
I think
Yeah,
he'll get
he's
killed.
probably gonna get redeemed eventually.
No,
Yeah.
I think he'll get killed because getting redeemed is great and all, but Bad Batch isn't like Rebels Rebels. Rebels was more like kid friendly. While Bad Batch is already killing clones, blowing things up and everything. I think they will kill him for the sake of the story. To see them
True.
grow. And they're already killing clones. I mean, in this episode, like they kill like 10 or 20 of them at least. So yeah, it will give them an amazing story, like killing one of their own, but finally like one of their own.
That's
Not
probably
like-
gonna happen. Do you remember in this episode when Tech talked about how ingenious it is to do the identification of every single member
Yeah.
of the Galactic Empire, like everywhere, to control every
Yeah.
single sentient being there? That for some reason this entire thing with the what are they called, these things, the cards or whatever, can't remember the
Identification chips,
yeah, this here, I can't remember what it's called specifically.
registration, identification,
Me
something
neither.
like ID. Let's call it ID.
Yeah, let's call it ID. Like, it reminds me of what is happening today in real life for some reason with traveling anywhere,
Ugh.
and I think that that should really sink in to everyone. Darth Sidious inhibited chips and everything. I don't want to talk too much about that because it's actually a serious topic, but just, everyone think about it for a moment with
Yep.
all that stuff. So yeah, let's just end it there with that. Okay, let's
Do you
move
know
on.
how will we correct that?
How
There is an easy way. Greedo shot first.
Greedo shot. Yeah.
Don't start that debate, please. That only ends in failure.
Not really. I always say I just don't care.
Hmm.
Life's too short to argue who shot first. But
Yeah,
we know
just stop playing
Yeah.
scenes. Just skip over them.
for some reason this
there we
other
go.
half is bugging every time I click it. It just won't move. So yeah, but this episode didn't have a lot of action really. It's mostly talking. Very. It's not underwhelming. I wouldn't call it that, but it's very different from episode 1 was a ride, I'd say.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we
Everywhere.
do you think we should go to talk about the ending? Because I don't think there's really much left to talk about in terms of like the scene
scene.
here.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think
Can I
there's much
say
left to
something?
talk about.
Yeah.
Can I say something real fast?
Yep.
When I watched the episode first time, like I actually said at the beginning of when I came here.
Hold on,
I
I'll be right
kinda thought
back.
it was okay. I thought that the episode was like too slow and didn't have so much meaning. But now rewatching, I mean, like going through these scenes and everything and thinking about it, it had way more than just some mindless action scene. It had
Yeah.
way more like depth to it than just blow shit up.
Yeah,
It gave
yeah.
me so much like character wise.
Yeah, before we began this, I didn't even know I thought a lot of things, what I thought about a lot of things in this episode, but I think this is a fun thing we're doing, like with every single episode.
Yeah. And I'm actually getting a new mic next week, so I'll be better at speaking.
Nice. Nice.
Finally.
Okay, I'm
And we're
back.
definitely going to do this every week for every episode.
Yeah, this is pretty fun.
We need more
What I've
people.
noticed, I wish I did this with the Clone Wars back in the day, because
Ah,
for some reason, despite this being Disney canon, and I'll say this over and over again every time, because it is a big deal for me to enjoy something from Disney, like I appreciate all of this even more when I go into in depth with you guys. You know,
I actually like all Disney shows like from Disney XD.
Honestly, I think the key to enjoying something like this is being surrounded by people who can actually agree with you on this kind of stuff, or just like talking about it in general. I think that's what we really need to get kind of our Star Wars mojo back in a way.
Yeah, seriously.
well, in a way, yes, but for example, our friend Matt Wilkins, he doesn't like canon at all. We kind of disagree a bit on. He thinks Dave Filoni is a bit worse than I do, like with the continuity errors and stuff like that. Like he really doesn't care about the continuity. And I agree with him. I agree with him to a point, because this does make continuity errors in official canon. But like he's not a big fan of the Clone Wars, and I'm a huge fan of it. But we get along perfectly.
Yeah,
like,
honestly, I have very mixed opinions about Filoni, so I'm not going to get into that. But all I can say is that he at least did a good job.
I mean, people can love him or hate him, but actually, myself, I actually love the work he did. And I watched a few of his interviews. I kind of like him as a person. He's an artist, so maybe that will be one of the parts. But he actually worked on some of the best shows America TV ever had. Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Yeah, he used
the Clone Wars. Rebels not that much, but Clone Wars and Avatar. Like some of the best shows ever.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of a person, I think he's a little smug at times, but at least he can produce something that's pretty quality and good quality.
Trust me, every artist is a bit weird. All of us are crazy a bit. So.
Yep.
True. But the thing is, our only thing we should be looking when we look to Filoni, in my opinion, is does he make a good entertaining? Does he entertain us?
Well,
definitely.
Yeah,
and
he does that well, and that's enough for me. Like honestly, what is actual opinions, political stuff? It's absolutely none of our business when you look at it. And I really appreciate him for not talking about that crap and not pushing an agenda, even though it happened once. I saw the video, but
actually, I think it was a couple other times, but I could be.
Maybe.
I think I might be wrong.
Maybe, but the thing is, as long as he makes quality Star Wars, which is all we're asking for, I don't give a shit what he thinks in real life.
Actually, speaking of celebrities expressing their political beliefs, I have another video I want to send you, but that'll be after this.
No problem.
you might like it.
Probably. What do you guys think about her? I think it was expected that she was going to come back, despite it going with Cut.
Yes.
I think
it was obvious.
The trailer fighting with a bow and arrow. Some arrow vibes over here, even if it's done.
But yeah, here we have the. Yeah, true. It was expected, unless Cutler Quane was going to become a main character in the cast,
That would be amazing, but I didn't see it. Maybe we'll see him again later. Maybe
in a few seasons, I think, definitely.
Yeah.
Probably not in this season.
Yeah, but I don't know how long will the show run. I know there is one season done, like what?
I think he's too far
episodes.
gone into his family man image.
Yeah, like he's no longer a soldier. He says that himself.
Exactly. I think something bad needs to happen to him in order for him to,
be back.
But
Exactly.
we don't want that. We want him to have a happy life. Come on.
Yes.
Don't be upset. Don't be serious.
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone is rooting for him to simply to be the family man that he wants to be and live happily ever after, basically.
And do some farming,
And
which is
seriously.
peaceful life. So
And
I think that's the best ending we can hope for him. And as far as I'm concerned, headcanon-wise, that's what happened.
And he does not need to go and sell some dev sticks or transport spices. He's a family man working on a farm.
Yeah, that we need more of that stuff, generally speaking.
Imagine him selling dev sticks and having a spice farm.
Yeah, it wouldn't suit him because he has a family.
Oh my
basically.
God.
But that would be amazing.
Do you remember the video Star Wars Theory did about the Obi-Wan fan fiction where he's on death sticks?
Ah, that's
Actually,
like
remember
what,
that.
3 or 4 years ago. Ah, that's amazing.
I was laughing hysterically
Like,
at that. That was
seriously.
great.
I saw
That guy has some amazing ideas. He
Yeah,
has some
Obi-Wan on
amazing
death
ideas.
sticks. Imagine if that was actually canon.
For some reason, I wish it was for at least a moment.
Just be like, Anakin, you got to try this stuff. It's just so amazing. I don't know why I didn't do it before. Screw the Jedi Council, screw the war, screw everything. I'm just gonna go sit down and enjoy some death sticks.
Hey, the
Come
war
here, you
didn't even
Twi'lek
start before
babes.
that.
Imagine Obi-Wan being so high on death sticks,
Dev
sorry,
sticks.
like throwing pocket sand at Anakin and stuff like that.
It's like, Master, you know that's my only weakness. Stop throwing that. Anakin, you're a whiny little bitch. Just leave me alone.
Basically, sand is like kryptonite to him.
Oh, seriously. It's over 9,000.
Or
I think
you got
no, if sand is Anakin's kryptonite, then water must be Omega's kryptonite.
Oh yeah. You know what? That would be so
It's
awesome.
fluid and
It would be.
soft and it gets everywhere.
Imagine if they did the same line with water for her eventually.
She's like, I don't like water. It's cold, wet, irritating, and it really gets in there.
That would be so idiotic and so many
Imagine
levels.
somebody's gonna take this and then just make it a meme. Just
Yeah,
anybody in the
seriously.
everybody in the chat, try and get that trending. See what happens. Well,
Yeah.
actually, I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah,
the funny
because she-
thing is, the guy Hayden Christensen who plays Anakin, he rolls with it now with Iron like sand. It became like part of his identity.
yes.
Like the
I
last
remember
time there
that
was
from
kind of a
Star Wars Day.
celebration.
Yeah.
Celebration, yeah. And they were like, "Can you say about the sand?" He was like, "It's coarse and rough." And it really gets into places you don't want it to be.
That's what it did. That's what it does with water.
Like seriously, I can't wait for the Kenobi show. That's one show I want to watch.
Well, honestly, I don't know yet. I'm really cautious about everything Star Wars today.
I mean, we
And
have Ian
really-
McGregor back. We have Hayden back. What else do we need? I mean, yeah, a good writer, but still, we have those two guys back. And Ian never effed up with Obi.
Honestly, when I look at it as a whole, I would be completely happy if I only had this show and if it simply stays true to what it was supposed to be originally. You know, like
And
no
if they
love
bring
stuff.
in if they
I'd
bring
be-
in some old characters from the Clone Wars as well, that would be really cool.
What do you think will they bring Kenobi?
You know, I would really like to see Darth Maul in this.
Yeah.
Actually,
Oh,
I think we'll have him. We'll have him because
Ooh.
it's he runs the crime syndicate. He's
Yes, it's
king.
I
perfect
just had
timing
another
for
light
this.
bulb.
We can
I
see
had
the
another-
formation of the crime syndicate that was what it was in Solo.
Yeah, but I just think I'd just ignore Solo as a whole. Just the
I didn't
concept
watch
of
it.
him, just him being. I like the concepts in the show, but I don't like the story or the characters. You know.
Or Pando Lando.
Yeah,
I only
yeah, I don't
watched
like
the
that
end
stuff.
scene with Maul. I didn't even watch
Actually-
the movie. I just watched that.
I
Wait,
prefer the expanded universe version of Han Solo's backstory and Lando's and everything there, but I like Maul as being the crime, the at the top of the syndicate, and I like the Imperial troopers and all those new designs. I'd happily accept all those things. That was great.
You know,
But
if
just-
they were to make a new clone trooper type, I think I know they should do some that are just completely in chrome, because you know everything is chrome in the future.
Oh yeah.
Like just no, just have a clone trooper, but the armor is just all chrome.
You know
That'd
what?
be great.
They should
The armor is
add
just painted chrome.
We should have Phase Zero Dark Troopers, like from
Oh
Battle.
yeah,
Oh
those
yeah.
guys are awesome.
Lore-wise, we should be having them in a few years regarding the timeline, like maybe 18, 19. I think so. I'm not sure,
Let's
but in the
hope we
first
get
few
it.
years, maybe, or 10 years later, maybe even. I'm not sure, but that would be
I
cool.
mean, Filoni gave us so many things in the Rebels. Like, he brought so many legend things back.
Yeah, that's what I love about
Even in
it.
the Clone Wars as well, in the final season, he
You know,
brought so many things.
now that you mentioned the what's it called, the Chrome Troopers, you know, they could do the Shadow
Chrome
Troopers
Troopers.
from, you know, from A Force Unleashed. They
yeah,
are Chrome.
just
Actually, that kind of rings pretty good. Chrome troopers.
Chrome.
Good one, Todd. Good one.
Do you guys remember the fake concept art, or was it fake? I'm not really sure. The chrome, they were completely chrome. The troopers for the Force Awakens, like 2014 maybe art.
I remember
Like-
seeing something, but I think that was just like the first concept for Phasma.
That looked so good.
Yeah, I remember.
I wish they went that way, because I don't know. I wish they went any other way except for what they did with the sequels, because I was bored by it.
I mean, I think those concepts were meant for Phasma.
Maybe, but if even
I remember
imagine a
correctly.
battalion.
If I remember.
I think it would be cool if they had a battalion of them. I'll find those old images, and in some live stream in the future or community posts, I'll share it, because they look so much better and intimidating than what we got in the sequels. So
I mean,
yeah.
we got Death Troopers by Rogue One, and now they're crucial part of Star Wars.
Yeah. Anyway, I think
Let's
this
get back.
I think this is the last thing regarding this episode that needs saying something. Like this exact scene, they almost recognized him. They're technically all brothers.
Yeah.
Although I think they didn't recognize him because they're using the old animation style for his face.
And they're using the newer helmets, you know, because
He just committed a fourth wall break.
Stormtrooper aim.
Just committed a fourth wall break.
Yeah. They used the animation style face for it. That's why they didn't recognize him.
He pulled that.
Or they could just be, or it's like I said earlier, they could have accidentally interviewed a stunt double.
Yeah. Or maybe it's because of the weird beard and the hat, sort of.
No,
Yeah.
it's because of the armor that he wore.
Yeah, seriously, like
Yeah, the plot armor.
You think it's the plot armor, huh?
100%.
Well, since I love this character, I'm just gonna say it's the will of the Force and leave it there, for me at least.
All right, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
And they
Let's
want to do
push
their
the-
work when people are watching, not when they're alone.
Wait, what?
Clones do their work when someone is watching, but when they're alone, yeah, move along. These are not the clones you're looking for.
It would also be cool if they simply said "move along." Is this the similar transport ship that was used in Rebels?
I think it's the same.
With
one
the droid.
Yeah, I
because
think that
it's a
was.
paint job.
R2D2 and C3PO was the second episode of Rebels.
Yeah, the same ship, just different. What's it called? Color of.
Yeah,
God
but
damn.
I think it's white
Over
when
there.
it's daytime. Okay. So yeah, I think that's basically it on the episode. There's not we talked about it quite a bit.
Yeah,
I mean, we
almost
talked
2
more about
hours.
EA and everything.
I
Now
didn't
we go
expect
back
this
to
because
EA.
me and Todd talked less about the first episode, despite much more happening in it.
I think it's
You
because you had
said
us
you.
here.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's much more
seriously.
fun when we do it all together.
Definitely.
We should do this more often. It was pretty
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, we should
Anyway.
get someone else on here as well.
Like
and
every Friday.
Yeah, because
Maybe-
every Friday a new episode's going to come out, and we'll do it every time.
Honestly, I wish Star Wars Theory could be involved with this. That'd be pretty cool to see him.
We'll see about it. Who knows?
Yep.
I'd love that too.
Dark
He
side
seems
of
like a very
the
nice guy.
software,
So
great media abilities.
let's hope this doesn't get copyrighted if we just leave it at what Record is doing here.
He's lifting up the gonk droid.
Like, seriously.
It's amazing.
Nice. Gonk droids are god tier droids, though.
He's getting
And
his
you know
ammo
what-
back, just like in Battlefront.
Yeah, just like the Count Dooku mod
Oh
or the
yeah.
Count Gonk droid mod.
Oh,
God.
yes.
Let's look at the
Yeah.
legs.
He
Like,
definitely
why-
doesn't keep.
Just have one question. Why did they have a Gonk droid? Did he like steal it while they were at it? What?
I don't know. Because
Wait a
the
second,
dark
let me
side
go
of the
back.
Force is a pathway that leads to many abilities that some would consider to be unnatural. Maybe. Something
You
like
know, someone commented that and made me laugh. Last week, I don't know if many people are aware of this. My cat, I thought she was going to die or something like that. I have 5 cats and a dog. But
Yeah, I've
she's
been meaning-
9 years old, almost 10. I thought she was going to die. And when she survived, then everyone was praying for her and for me. And thank you, everyone, for that. Like,
yeah, Luke. I'm just glad that she's all right. Thank God.
someone actually commented that. Like, someone said to me, like, you could keep the ones you cared about from dying.
But not yourself. You could save others from
Wait,
death, but
what
not
are you
yourself.
talking about?
That was such a good reference to Plagueis. Like, he called me like as if I was Darth Plagueis. Whatever. It was awesome.
Yes. Ironic.
Ironic, yeah.
You manipulated the midichlorians to create life.
Life. Ironic. He could save others from death, but not himself.
Like, I could watch that. I could watch the speech from Palpatine talking about
No,
the tragedy of Plagueis, like, over and over again. It's so satisfying. It's like, imagine go to being ready for sleep and just play that before sleep.
Yeah, it just
That's
puts
a
you
bit
to sleep,
creepy.
man.
That's
And then
voice,
you
man.
fall asleep when he says to create
Nice.
Life.
When will we get the movie about
It's just
Darth
so
Vader?
satisfying, man. It's like he's buttering the bread with every word he's uttering. It's just beautiful.
Seriously.
Yeah, it is. It is. Sheev the Senate. Palpatine's the man. Honestly,
I mean, it
mastermind.
kind of is.
One of
I
the
just
greatest.
said it for him.
Ow. Crap. I just knocked into something.
Not from a Jedi. Fuck. So yeah, I think that's about it on this episode. And
Yeah.
All right, let me go ahead
we
and
still have the
close.
end. What about the end credit scene?
Honestly, you want to know what I say about this live stream, you two?
Yep.
Good job. Like,
Oh,
good
how?
job.
How so?
I'm
GG
just
easy.
saying because that's one of my favorite quotes in the Geonosis Arena battle. He's like,
Oh,
good job.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Then we decided to come and rescue you.
You master.
Good job.
Honestly, we've never seen Obi-Wan so pissed at Anakin like we did there.
Actually, we did in comic books. When Anakin was
Is that the most pissed he's
little
ever been at
kid still.
Anakin?
On screen, yeah. I think so.
on screen? Yeah.
He's just giving them that. He's just giving him that weird death stare, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing here?"
Yeah, he was less pissed at him when he turned to the dark side than when he didn't rescue him. You know,
I'm like, Obi-Wan, do you want to die? Like, honestly, no. He says
Do you
that. He's
want
like,
some
Obi-Wan,
death sticks?
do you want to die? Like, seriously.
but when you look at it, Geonosis has a lot of sand, so Anakin had no chance.
Yeah, seriously. That's why he lost his hand.
Basically, I mean, Darth Sand trumps even the Chosen One.
Yeah.
It has
Imagine being.
I'm gonna
Great.
get going, so
Nice.
I'll talk to you guys later.
No
Yeah,
problem.
definitely,
We're
man. It was
finishing
a
up right
pleasure,
now.
man. It was a pleasure having you here, and
All right, that was good.
looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, I'll
Same
see you
here.
guys next
Let's-
week.
Yep.
See you
no
guys.
problem, mate.
See ya.
See
All
you
right.
later. Bye.
As for the chat, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream right now, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And as we say, learn something new about the vast galaxy of Star Wars. So yeah, that's about it for this live stream, and we'll talk to you on the next one, which is gonna be probably next Friday.
And also,
where
by the
we'll
way,
do-
guys,
the next episode.
Yeah, just before we end this completely, check out ANK's YouTube channel. He makes Star Wars art. Like, you can watch him draw and everything that he does it in the editing program, and it's absolutely amazing. So we'll put the link in the description
I actually
below.
have a sneak peek for you guys.
Really?
Just share
Let's see it,
screen.
honestly. If you can share screen before we end this.
Yeah, 1 second.
Let's see what you have ready for us.
Bring your crits back anytime. You know what they
Well,
say.
Like in Star
All
Wars.
right, let me go ahead and add it to the
Is it
stream
here?
over here. Yeah, it is. Here we go.
Oh, here it is.
It's still work in progress, but it's coming along.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good.
How long have you been working on it?
I actually started this before, like last month, and then I forgot about it. Then I came back to it like the other day.
Okay.
And there is another one that I'm working for the piece after this one. Like, so I'm doing 5 pieces in front right now. So these are the 2 I'm focusing the most: the Clone Wars and not the Clone Wars, the Bad Batch and the Mortal Kombat. I watched
Anyway,
the movie
just
last day.
Oh, Mortal Kombat. Nice. I didn't notice it. Just so you know, guys, here's the link for his channel. So make sure to subscribe to him for anyone who's still here, and you'll be able to see it firsthand when he releases it. And he has other art on many other things, which is awesome. So yeah, the link is right here.
All right, well, let's go ahead and end this. And I want to thank everybody who was watching this. It's been a real pleasure, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you guys for having me.
See you guys.
All the
God
best.
bless you all.
Have a good one, and bring your crits back anytime.